This beautiful Tuesday, guys. Sprinklers are going. It's a little bit earlier. That's why I had to move it over here. Kind of got a little bit wet trying to adjust everything, but we got it going. But today, most people don't have 5 years of lifting experience. They have 1 year that they have just been repeating over and over. Like, I have had clients who have been working out longer than me, 8-10 years, and they're just wanting to take things to the next level. And the reason that they have been lifting for 10 years and they look the same, or they're not happy with how they look, because they continue to repeat the same year over and over. They have no structure, they have no consistency. They're sprinting and then they're walking. What they're doing is just not sustainable long term. They're sprinting for a month, and then the next month, they chill out. They're like, I'll go like 2 times a week. I'll hit my diet 2 times a week as well. And then the next month, okay, I'm back. A sprint, and then they slow down. Like, you need just consistent days, stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking, because you progress the moment that you slow down. If you're just consistently jogging, you are going to lap everybody, and that's how you make consistent progress. But if I want to get into a little bit more depth of why people do stay stuck, it's the first part. They're inconsistent, right? They go to the gym 6 days a week, 1 week, and the next week they're going 3. But it's also the structure that you have inside the gym. If you're going into the gym, you're doing so much volume that you can't recover from it, and you're not tracking your workouts, and you're just doing who knows what in there. That's another issue on top of going on inconsistently and not showing up for yourself when you say you're going to go 6 days a week, and then the following week you go 2, right? It's just, you're inconsistent with your workouts. You're inconsistent with actually tracking your workouts, and then the meal plan side of things, you're good for a week and then you fall off. You're good for a week and then you fall off. It's about having the long-term pace. You got to be able to do this for the next 10 years of your life. And if you can't do it, then maybe your structure and your system is not going to be repeatable. Find things that you can do for the next 10 years. Find a repeatable system. If you can't go to the gym 6 days a week for the next 10 years, only do 4. Do something that you can actually repeat for years on end, so you can build good habits and build a long-term structure in your life, which a lot of people do not have. That's just why a lot of people restart. And that's why for years I restarted. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm human as well. I made mistakes. I just got to the point where I'm at today, where I feel really confident that I can transform anybody in a very short period of time and get them to the goals that they want and build a good structure in their life. And this was the funniest thing I ever saw. At the gym yesterday, I was in there. First things first, I forgot my headphones. Worst workout ever, guys. I didn't even want to be there. Tell me why. My gym blasts music, but I didn't have my headphones, and I was like, bro, this sucks. Not having my headphones literally killed the entire vibe. I wanted to go home. Are you guys like the same way as I am? Music is a necessity, bro. If I can't listen to my own music and it's like blasting in my ear, my workout is 10 times worse. I don't get to push as heavy a weight. Just a whole bunch of things that go into it. It's just a psychological game when it comes to your music. But back to what I was saying, I saw a guy yesterday while I was at the gym with no music. I was a lot more observant. I wasn't so focused on my lift, which is a bad thing. I was more observant, and I saw this one guy. Tell me why my gym has a lot of chest presses, dude. Like, they line up like 6 of them, bro, and then they got a whole bunch of dumbbell stuff and cable stuff. And I saw this. I swear he did 7 to 10 different chest exercises, and I swear he's doing like 4 sets each. I'm like, brother, you just did a whole month of my volume in a day, and you had no intensity. And I was like, bro, there's a reason you're small. Like, what makes you think we're gonna go in here and do every single chest machine that they possibly can, and we're gonna grow our chest? Like, bro, no, that's not how things. That's not how it works. You got to be intent. Like, if you're not giving your muscle a reason to grow, it's not gonna grow. I saw him going there. He would put on a playback. Okay, that was a good set, and he was doing like 30 sets. I'm like, dude, that is my entire week, and you just did that in one muscle group. Something's not adding up. Just to kind of summarize why a lot of people stay stuck: they're inconsistent, they don't track anything, they don't track their meals. Just overall, they don't have a structure that they can repeat for the next 10 years, which is exactly what you need. Now, this is what actually works, my guys. First, you got to get a split that you can repeat 4, 3, 5, 6 days a week, whatever. And this is what actually works, guys. You got to pick a split. A split really doesn't matter. Please don't do chest and back, bro, in the same day. It works, bro, but just for the rage bait, just don't do it, dude. Pick a push-pull legs, any kind, like push-pull legs, upper, push-pull legs, full body, push-pull legs, upper, lower, whatever you want to do. Just pick a split that you'll show up for consistently, and then build out workouts that you can show up for consistently. Once you have that split, push-pull legs, upper, lower, you go through there, you're like, okay, I want to do, for a leg day, I want to do hack squat, and then I want to do leg extensions, and I want to do machine hamstring curls. Write that down in a book or get an app called Heavy. Track your workout. So then you'll have a consistent split that you'll repeat week after week. You'll have a consistent workout routine that you'll repeat week after week. The last piece is getting your meal plan, finding repeatable meals that are going to hit your calories, hit your macros, that you can repeat week after week, and then track your body weight, track your progress photos, and those are the only things that you need to do. Last piece is just getting your steps. Like, that should be something that is just built into your day. You're like, yep, I walk right here, and 15K is just something that happens every single day, or at least 10,000, you know? And that right there is the exact system that I built into my life and built into my client's life to get amazing results. Like, dude, I don't even think, like, I definitely am sub 10%. I have lower abs. I have quad veins that I had never had before. My legs were cooked. My lower abs were cooked. My face was cooked. And within the span of 3 months, when I actually dialed in all of my systems really, really hard and I stayed consistent every single day, I'm not saying that I wasn't consistent up to that point, but it just wasn't as dialed in as it is right now. And here's some simple and practical tips. So when it comes to the gym, in order to figure out what's gonna work best for you, do you really care about hitting legs? If you don't really care about growing your legs too much, you can do push-pull legs, upper. Just hit your upper body 2 times a week. You're only going 4 days a week. You're just getting that one leg day in, so you still stimulate that leg growth and that testosterone, but overall you're targeting the upper body, which is the piece that most people really do want to target. And now I just kind of want to talk about mentality. Like, the direction that your life is going is all dependent on you. I know a lot of people who can't force themselves to get up. They consistently tell me, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but they don't do it. You gotta have the mentality that I'm gonna show up for myself every single day. I'm gonna do what it takes to get what I want. If you're not willing to do what it takes to get what you want, you're obviously not gonna get what you want. If you want your dream physique, but you can't even wake up at 8 a.m. to go to the gym, not gonna get your dream physique. If you're not willing to put in a little bit of effort to get what you want, you're obviously, because things aren't handed in this life. You know that people don't just get handed money. People don't just get handed a good physique. You gotta work for what you get. So if you're not willing to put in the effort and you don't have a mentality that's going to support that, you're obviously not going to get what you want. Like, no hate to my cousin. He lives with me. And we got a gym membership at the same time. Yeah, you want to get a gym membership? Come on, I'll put you on my plan. Get him a gym membership. And the first, 2 months, he's consistent. He went to the gym consistently. I would tell him to wake up. I was like, let's go. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. We were going. And he just fell off. He didn't care to show up anymore. And I can't be his dad. I'm like in there. You trying to go to the gym? Oh, no, bro, I'm gonna go later. He doesn't go later. It's just about having that mentality. Like, he's probably not gonna get to his dream physique because he's not willing to put in the work. And I mean, the past 6 months have shown that. We've had a gym membership for probably 8 months now. We're at this new gym, and probably he looks a little better than he did at the start. But considering that I've been lifting for 6 years and I made this freaking huge difference, he could have made an even bigger difference, considering that he's a gym beginner. If he would have actually listened to what I said and followed it every single day. But some people just really don't have that drive to go to the gym and show up and change their physique. What I call it is they don't have enough hate in their life. They don't hate themselves enough to want to change. They don't have too much stress or self-doubt or nothing like that. They're just comfortable. When you're comfortable, you're not going to make a change. Like, genuinely, when I was younger and I was skinny, I'll pull up a picture of what I used to look like when I was a kid, bro. I hated myself. So what did I do? I made a change. I'm like, I'm going to the gym. This is not who I am. I don't like this at all. I need to make a change because that's the person that I want to become. Someone who's fit, someone who can lead, someone who can provide for his family and overall do the things that he wants to do in life. And if you're skinny and you're not strong, or if you're fat and you just can't do specific things because you're not in shape, then that sucks. And that's the life I did not want to live. So that's why I got in shape. And then now that's why I help other people, because I see what it's done to my life. I feel amazing. Constantly, I wake up every day, I look down and I see this. I have no fat on my body and I feel good and healthy. Even being sub 10% body fat, my hormones and everything is probably not in the best situation. But overall, I feel light, I feel good, and I look good is the biggest thing. And I'm helping people do the exact same thing. Honestly, I feel like he can pick it up someday, but it just comes down to finding that why in his life. He doesn't have a strong enough why. That's the biggest piece, is finding he doesn't have a strong enough why. And that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier, but it just didn't come to me. It's your why. Why do you want to change? My why back in the day was hated how I looked. I couldn't pull any girls. I wasn't confident. So I made the change in my life. Now I have the confidence. I can talk to the camera right here. I can go talk to anyone. I can get on a sales call with someone and just have a good conversation with them without being nervous, without being like, can't even talk, can't do nothing, bro. You got to build that confidence in your life. You got to have a good reason why. And now that I've accomplished these things in my life, that's why I help other people accomplish their why. Why do you want to get in shape? Do you want to be able to be that role model for your kid? Do you want to be able to live a healthy life, not have to deal with health complications down the road? There's so many different reasons to have a why. If your why is just, I want to get abs, you're not going to get abs. I'm telling you that right now. My why wasn't, I just want to get abs. I want to look good. I was like, no, I want to be more confident. I don't like how I look right now. I look down and I see these rolls. I look at my face. It's fat, bro. This is why I want to change. It is embarrassing looking like this. I hate it. I hate it. So what did I do? I went and I showed up day after day after day, and I built a system in my life, and I worked out for the next 6 years on repeat, and I built what I have today. That's how I got this shredded at 20 years old. I have a better physique than people who are almost in their 30s at 20, and I'm only 20 and a half. I'll be 21 here soon. But that's another thing I want to talk about, was the natural limit. The natural limit. I see people online like Jack Barron and these other guys, and people are like, oh, there's no way you're natural. There's no way that you're natural. And I'm like, honestly, I really hope they're natural, because if they are natural, that means I can do it too. So why wouldn't you just believe that they're natural? Like, bro, if that's possible, I can do it too. I'm like, yes. If that wasn't natural, I'd be like, damn. So am I really like capped out right here? Like, can I just not get any bigger? But then when you just compare, you're just hating on people like, oh, this and that. Like, no, they worked hard for years and years and years on end. They went to the gym 6 days a week. They pushed till they literally have nothing left, day in and out. And they showed up for their diet day in and out. And that's why they have these massively different physiques than the masses. Like, even my physique is way up here compared to the masses. That's because I had a good why, I showed up for myself, and I had a structure. And that's exactly what I can teach to you guys. Till the next one, boys.